Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Open to Life podcast. Yeah. And in this episode, I want to talk about all the Fem Tech that I use and why I use the various Fem Tech. Now, what do I mean by Fem Tech? I'm sure there is an actual definition. Fem Tech, to my understanding, is feminine technology that is meant for females to advance the female way of life. So I use FemTech that is specific to fertility awareness, charting, fertility awareness methods. So, what use? Let's just get into it, okay? There's different devices that exist. I am a total device junkie. If you can hit me with some good marketing, I'm your girl. So one of the tried and true devices, FemTech, that exists that is actually tied to one of the NFP FAM methods is the ClearBlue monitor. And the ClearBlue monitor is tied to the Marquette method of fertility awareness. So I actually just got my third postpartum period yesterday. So I put in the monitor that a new cycle has begun, because what's going to happen with this monitor is beginning on day 6 of my cycle per the Marquette method of NFP, I will be peeing in a cup, and this is the cup that I use. It's from the brand Frida. I was using some other cups, but I really like this cup. Just got it off of Amazon. I like the design of it and the handle, because as you're peeing, you can put it in between your legs and you don't have to worry about any urine getting on your hand. So there are strips that I order off of Amazon, and I refill them every couple months when I run out, because you don't use a strip every single day of your cycle. You only use a strip on the days that you're testing for your fertility. So essentially, with the ClearBlue monitor, most people know it as trying to find your fertile window in order to achieve pregnancy. But if you're using this in NFP fertility awareness world, you will know how to hack it to chart to find your fertile window if you're trying to avoid pregnancy. So yes, it can be used for both, and though that was not its intended purpose. Please learn with an instructor who will work with you one-on-one to teach you the methods in and outs. But so I pee in the cup, then I take the strip, place it in the urine for a little bit, and then I insert the test stick into here. And so then what the monitor is going to do is it's going to look for a rise in your estrogen. Right now, it's telling me that today is a low day, but once the monitor detects a rise in estrogen in my urine, then it's going to tell me that I'm having high days. Then once my LH, my luteinizing hormone switches and the urine picks that up, then it will tell me that it is peak day, meaning that most likely in the next 12-24 hours, an egg will be released. So that is the ClearBlue monitor. Now, kind of like the Tesla, if that's even the right analogy to say, the Tesla of compared to the ClearBlue monitor is the Inito. Y'all, I absolutely love the Inito monitor. Now, it attaches to your phone, and you can see this is specific to my phone. If you get a new phone, you have to change this to be specific to the size of your phone. So this, similar to the ClearBlue monitor, pee in the cup, and then you have to order strips, and then you insert into here. You have to have it attached. You have to have it on your phone connected to the Inito app. And then those strips not only look for your estrogen for your FSH and your LH, your luteinizing hormone. And they look for your progesterone rise in order to confirm ovulation has passed, which is really cool. And I really hope as time goes on that NFP creators, method instructors, those who are in the behind the scenes world of crafting, executing, getting the data on natural family planning methods can use the Inito. Like, I think that's so cool that we can track our progesterone rise to confirm that ovulation has passed. So cool. The one down thing I don't like about the Inito, like, it doesn't bother me that I have to take my phone case off every day when I'm using it. Like, some people find that to be annoying. Doesn't bother me. Like, okay, fine, take it off. That's easy. What I don't like is how expensive the strips are. Just to get a pack of, I think, 30 strips, it's about $100. And imagine if, for whatever reason, you were testing your hormones every single day, every month, then that's $100 a month times 12 months out of the year is about $1,200. Now, using the Inito and the ClearBlue monitor to track my hormones, you don't need to be using these monitors every single day. You only need to use them when you're trying to find your peak window. And then you could use the Inito to try to confirm that ovulation has passed. And the ClearBlue monitor can't tell you that yes, ovulation has for sure passed. ClearBlue can only tell you your estrogen's rising and now your LH has surged, but Inito can tell you that plus progesterone has surged, and it can also tell you the actual like numerical data of your LH is at this and your estrogen is at this. So this is kind of cool to have your own like in-house lab and to give you more data. So I really like that. I just wish these strips were not so expensive. And so I really hope as time goes on that more people will jump on the wagon of fertility awareness NFP methods for health and for reproductive family planning, and that, with supply and demand will bring the costs down for everyone. If more people are wanting it, if there's a higher demand, that the cost of the supply will hopefully go down. That's just a theory, right? Okay. Another tool that I like is the Kegg, Kegg. So this is the charging port. This is like the little case that it lives in. There's where you would plug in the micro USB charger. And this is the Kegg. And again, this is something that is marketed for achieving pregnancy. The way how this is used is you insert this into the vagina. Yes, this does go inside. No, it's not gross. This is life. If people are getting grossed out, I'm sorry. I just feel like you're really sensitive to anatomy and like just being an adult about life. So this is inserted and then you would turn it on. It has an app. See how it's kind of glowing a little. And first you have the option if you want to do Kegels with it. So the name I believe is Kegg because it's combining the action of a Kegel with how it's the shape of an egg. So there we get Kegg. So a Kegel, if you don't already know, Kegels are exercises for your pelvic floor. And your pelvic floor is literally like the floor of your body, from your uterus, your urethra, to your perineal body. And it is what is at the bottom of holding you up. So a Kegel is an exercise. This is the way how I heard it explained once. Think that about an elevator at the bottom of the opening of your vagina, and then you're going to close and breathe and stretch, and you're taking that elevator up, 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 and then you're releasing the elevator down, 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 down. I think another way I heard it explained to me once was there's a blueberry at the opening of your vagina, and now you want to take that blueberry up, and then you want to release that blueberry back down. So a cool option with the Kegg device is that you can do Kegels with it in you, and you can use this to track your fertile window. The way how this works, I hope I'm getting it right, by testing for the electrolyte levels in your vagina. Because the vagina is naturally very acidic, which means it is normally not a habitable environment for sperm to survive. Only when we are entering into our fertile window, then the pH of our vagina changes when there is mucus present to make the vagina a habitable environment for sperm. So this tracks that change, I believe, in the electrolytes present, and will say, hey, now the vagina is a habitable environment, equaling, hey, right now you're in the fertile window. If you listen to the podcast episode of me explaining why I believe my son is a miracle, because somehow he was conceived outside of the fertile window of tracking my fertility, like, y'all, okay, I was using my ClearBlue monitor. I was like tracking my mucus. I was tracking my temperature shifts. La da da da. A part of me is like, maybe if I was using my Kegg that cycle that I got pregnant, like maybe I could have tracked the change in my electrolytes, and that could have helped me to spot, oh, actually, you're still fertile, Melanie. And then I would not have become pregnant. But then that means my son would not exist. And I love my son. Love you, JD. So that is the Kegg. So typically what I do in the morning, when I am sitting down on the potty, I wipe with a tissue. And I wouldn't consider that FemTech because ideally everyone has access to toilet paper and that's free to you. And then you finger test on the tissue. You check for any change from the mucus that you saw yesterday to what you're seeing today, or if you didn't see any mucus at all, you check for the length, you check for texture, da, 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 da. So at first, I wipe, then I do a finger test, put the Frida urine cup underneath, catch some urine, put that to the side, then put my test sticks in from my ClearBlue monitor and my Inito monitor, let those sticks simmer and do their thing, catch whatever they need to catch, and then I go in with my Kegg that I have to connect to my phone through the app. And then once that has done its thing, take that out, and then I would attach my Inito to my phone to the app and let that run its course. Another downside, I think, of the Inito is that it takes like over 5 minutes, in between 5 to 10 minutes from the time that you insert the test strip to the time that the results are finished. It takes a little while, and you can't exit out of the app or do anything else with your phone. One thing I do that I kind of learned as a hack is that I will have music playing on Spotify or a podcast going. So at least I can get some form of entertainment while the strips are doing their thing. And that is my morning fertility awareness NFP routine. What I left out is what I do at night. I use my Ava watch that I put on my wrist, and this tracks my heart rate, my sleep, how much REM sleep I got, my breathing, and there's a couple other factors I'm not remembering, but the most important thing when it comes to tracking temperature is tracking your resting, waking body temperature, your basal body temperature. So I wear that on my wrist, and I like it. I don't love it. I feel like the app has been really glitchy. There's been a lot of times where I just charged it, and now at night when I put it on, it has to like beep for me to know that, okay, it's on, it's going. And there's been times where I'm like, why is it not beeping? So it's okay. The company, I think, also went bankrupt, or I don't know, something. And the company is actually based in San Francisco. So part of me is like, I guess I could just hop on over and be like, hey, at the headquarters. I like it. I don't love it because I feel like it's not reliable, and it's just been an utter disappointment. The company sent out an email maybe like a couple months ago apologizing that they know they've created a lot of mistrust in the brand. Again, this is called Ava, and I think I got the watch right before the company went under or something like that. But a device, a temperature tracking device that is reliable, that I used and loved. The only reason why I stopped using it is because I lost it. My heart is broken. I'm picturing a song on the world's smallest violin because it saddens me that I lost it. The Temp Drop. The Temp Drop is an arm band that actually goes up the arm near your armpit, like on your bicep area. And they actually recently came out with a Temp Drop 2.0 version. And since I lost my first Temp Drop, I'm like, I might as well get the 2.0 one. But to brag on the Temp Drop, I really like the Temp Drop because it was just a solid temperature tracking app, like no funny business. And with the Ava, there isn't a button to just press and turn it on and know, like, okay, it's going to track me for the nighttime. There's just these sensors on the back that you have to trust it's fully charged, and then you feel that beep, and then, okay, you know it's working. But with the Temp Drop, you can put it on and then press that button, and then you would see some lights, and then you would know, like, okay, it's working. And with the Temp Drop, there wasn't any charging. There was just some periodic changing of batteries. I don't know if that's the same with the Temp Drop 2. I assume it's the same with the Temp Drop 2. And so then there was an app. There is an app for the Temp Drop. And another really cool thing that I liked with the Temp Drop is it would sync to the Read Your Body app. And that is my favorite fertility charting app because you can customize it to track the things you wanted to track specifically. I made the chart look like my real life Creighton fertility care chart. So you can say, I want to chart this, I want to chart da da da. You can make it look like the real life charts that you use. Another thing that I really like about the app that other fertility awareness fanatics will say with the Read Your Body app is that this app doesn't tell you based off an algorithm of when it thinks you're going to ovulate. It doesn't tell you when it thinks your period's going to come. You, as the human, get to put in the things that you're charting, and then it is up to you to interpret that data and not let a computer tell you when it thinks you're fertile or not. Because the only way how that could possibly work is if somehow you could pee on your phone and then your phone telling you based off of your hormones, which is funny saying that now because it's like, I guess that kind of exists with the Inito, but I don't pee on my phone. I pee into the cup and then I insert that stick into the monitor and la 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 la. So the Temp Drop has that interface connection that you could sync the temperature. You wake up in the morning, sync it to your Temp Drop app, and then I think it would automatically, if you set it up once in the settings, it would do that going forward to sync it to your Read Your Body app, and then you can see that temperature as a graph chart, because in the Temp Drop app you just see the number, but with the Read Your Body app then you see those lines rising and falling. And ideally, when you're trying to track for fertility awareness methods, you want to look for that temperature shift that would rise to indicate that ovulation has passed, because then ideally that temperature, it spikes and then it stays higher, and then once you get your period, then that temperature drops, and then it repeats that following cycle. It's kind of lower down and then it shifts up and then it stays up until you get your period again. So the Temp Drop is really where it's at. I love that device. Now I'm trying to think if there's any other devices on the horizon that I like have my eye on. There's the Mira device, which is kind of like the Inito, except it's its own standalone device, not connected to your phone. So it is similar to the ClearBlue monitor in that way. And it's similar to the Inito because it can track all the range of hormones that you want it to. But the big but is that to test your estrogen, you need a certain type of stick. And then to test your progesterone, you need another type of stick. And to test for your LH, you need a different type of stick. Like there isn't just, to my knowledge, there isn't just one stick that tests for all the hormones in one. And that's why I like the Inito so much, because the sticks for the Inito test all the hormones in one stick. Whereas with the Mira, as I'm describing, you need to buy specific sticks to test different specific hormones. And to me, that sounds annoying, sounds like pain, sounds like excess money that is unnecessary. But the cool thing with the Mira is that the Marquette method is working on incorporating Mira. So I guess eventually phasing out the ClearBlue and using the Mira for tracking these hormones. I learned in one of the fertility awareness podcasts that I like to listen to is that the best way to confirm ovulation has passed is by progesterone levels, and that the best way to read your progesterone levels are with blood draws. So a part of me kind of wonders, like, wow, in the future of fertility awareness world, the same way how you can prick your finger to test for your blood sugar levels. I wonder, like, well, what if there will be a future technology that's like similar of like prick your finger to test your progesterone levels to confirm ovulation has passed? Like, that, wouldn't that be so cool? And then you would have that like confirmation of we are in the infertile window. Now we are incapable of trying to achieve pregnancy, la da da. So those are some of the FemTech devices that I use. My eyes are on the Temp Drop 2.0. And just for funsies, I wanted to also share some menstrual products that I use. If you don't already know, I am kind of a dirty hippie. I had a friend once say to me, if you call yourself a hippie, it means you're not a hippie. So don't call yourself a hippie. And ever since then, I was like, okay, yeah, true. I guess I can't call myself a hippie then. But like, I don't care. I think I'm a hippie. I think I'm really hippie in the things that I believe and my lifestyle. So part of my lifestyle as a hippie is being eco-friendly, like eco-aware, eco-conscious. So one thing I like to do with periods is use reusable pads. I got these at this local grocery store in San Francisco I really love called Rainbow Grocery. It's a worker co-op. It's worker owned. Very cool, which is actually a Catholic teaching, a Catholic way of operating a business. Okay, before you come at me thinking that it's all this like socialist communist way of operating, perhaps, but it was founded by a Catholic priest who started this way of worker-owned businesses. So anyways, this brand is called Glad Rags, and you would insert these pads into it, and then the same way how you would close the wings on your underwear, you just use the snap button, and you snap that back on the flow, snap that, give me some more. And then another really cool way of being eco-friendly, eco-conscious when it comes to period products is a period disc. Now there's menstrual cups. I tried a few menstrual cups back in the day. I feel like menstrual cups, in my opinion, are just like so much harder to get in and so much harder to get out. And I don't think period blood is dirty. I believe that period blood, that is the shedding of your uterine lining, which was meant to be the home for new human life, a new human being. Like, what is being shed is really a loss. Like, it's your body being sad that new life did not implant that month. And that's full of stem cells and nutrients, and people use that as fertilizer for plants. I tried that a couple times using my menstrual blood in plants. I do not have a green thumb. I'm not a hippie in that way, being able to take care of plants. I would like to be, and that's a skill that I can grow. And then some people also use menstrual blood as like a face mask. I don't understand why people think this is so gross. I just think this is the way God made us. And like I said, if you actually take the time to research and think about what is the purpose of the uterine wall and why do we shed this every month, and then you really think that's dirty, like the potential home of your future child is a dirty place, like you think that's dirty. I don't see the harm. Like, why is that weird or bad to then be like, well, I shed it out. Maybe I'll just use it as some fertilizer, or hey, maybe let me use all this stem cells for my skin. Anyways, the side rant over. So, not really the biggest fan of menstrual cups, but I do like a menstrual disc. This is from the brand Hello, and this is a disc. So, instead of being like a cup that is like sitting in the vagina, this is more, I believe, like kind of sitting underneath the cervix. So you would insert it the same way you insert a tampon, and then you would just kind of have to like push it up. And then I believe this can collect like 3 times a like plus size tampon can collect. And then I really like this one because it has these rings that then you would just go in and then you would pull it down, and then you would dump into the toilet or into your pot of plants or make a mask out of it. To my surprise, here is one cup that I did like. I feel like this was called the June cup. I liked this cup because it has a ball on the end, because other cups have just like long stems. There were times I like actually took scissors and just cut stems down because I was like, this is too long. This is like hanging out of my body. And another thing I didn't like about the cups with just the long stem is that it would be like really hard sometimes to pull that stem, have the grip to pull it fully out. But I liked this because you could get that firm grip with the ball at the end. And another thing that's kind of complicated with the cups is you have to make sure you get a good seal. And there's these holes at the opening of the rim that you kind of want to like seal, close out air. And so when you're getting the cup back, you have to make sure you break that seal. So I just feel like it's more complicated than it needs to be. So that's why I am a disc girl. I love the disc. I haven't used it since before I was pregnant. So I've been scared with my like previous postpartum periods, just wanting to be gentle to myself. But now that it's postpartum period 3 and my son's almost a year old, in 5 days he'll be 11 months old. So I think maybe I do feel comfortable now in this point in time to use a period disc. Another fun fact, I will just put it out there for all my married ladies: period sex, okay? It does not have to be gross. Okay, my first time having sex was period sex. I got my period on my wedding day. Actually, when I ended up taking off my wedding change reception outfit dress, I actually saw I bled through the dress a little. Who cares? Who cares? Period blood is normal. These things are normal and good. But my being is my first time having sex was period sex, and it's like we did it. It's fine. Put a towel down. You're good. And with a period disc to catch that menstrual blood, this that would sit higher in your vagina underneath your cervix, this actually could allow for penetration. So you could attempt to have period sex without all the mess, or forget about it. You don't even need that. So that is all I have to say about that with the FemTech and the things I use, the things I'm wanting, things I'm hoping for in the future of FemTech, and a little bit of some period products thrown in there. So hope you enjoyed episode 8 of the Open to Life podcast, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.